Ladies and gentlemen, afternoon/evening. Imagine this. What if in just 3 days you could begin to change your life simply by changing how you talk to yourself? Dr. Joe Dispenza, a pioneer in understanding the power of the mind, has shown us that our thoughts shape our reality. When you change your inner dialogue, you can create a profound shift in your emotions, health, and future. Many of us go through life unaware of the subtle but persistent voice running in the background of our minds. This voice, often referred to as the inner critic, has a profound impact on our emotions, decisions, and overall quality of life. The inner critic can be harsh, judgmental, and unforgiving, feeding on past experiences, perceived failures, and societal expectations. While it may seem like an unavoidable part of being human, becoming aware of this internal dialogue is the first step toward reclaiming your power and transforming your relationship with yourself. The inner critic often speaks in patterns that have been formed over years, sometimes decades. It might repeat phrases you've heard from authority figures such as parents, teachers, or peers during formative moments in your life. These words can become deeply ingrained, shaping the way you view yourself and your abilities. For example, if someone told you as a child that you weren't good enough, your inner critic may echo that sentiment every time you face a new challenge. The problem is not just the presence of this voice, but the fact that it operates below the level of conscious awareness for most people. It becomes part of the mental noise we take for granted, affecting our mood and confidence without us even realizing it. To bring awareness to the inner critic, it is essential to pause and observe your thoughts. One of the most effective ways to do this is through mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches you to step back from the constant stream of mental chatter and witness your thoughts objectively. By doing so, you can begin to separate yourself from the voice of the critic and recognize that it is not an absolute truth, but rather a conditioned narrative. For example, you might notice yourself thinking, "I'll never succeed at this," and instead of automatically accepting it, you pause and question it. Where did this thought come from? Is it grounded in fact, or is it a projection of fear? Another powerful tool for recognizing the inner critic is journaling. Writing down your thoughts can help you identify recurring themes and patterns in your self-talk. Often you'll find that your inner critic tends to exaggerate or catastrophize situations. It might say things like, "You always mess up," or "You're not smart enough for this." When these thoughts are laid out on paper, it becomes easier to see them for what they are: distortions of reality. Journaling also creates an opportunity to challenge these negative beliefs by writing down counter-arguments. For instance, if your inner critic says, "You'll never improve," you can respond with evidence of times when you've overcome obstacles or learned new skills. Awareness is not about silencing the inner critic completely. It's about recognizing its presence without letting it control you. In fact, the inner critic sometimes arises as a misguided attempt to protect you from failure or rejection. It believes that by pointing out your flaws, it can help you avoid pain. Understanding this intention can help you approach your inner critic with compassion rather than hostility. Instead of fighting against it, you can acknowledge its presence and gently redirect your focus to more constructive thoughts. As you become more aware of your inner critic, you'll start to notice how it influences not just your thoughts, but also your emotions and behaviors. Negative self-talk can create feelings of anxiety, self-doubt, and inadequacy, which in turn may lead you to avoid opportunities or settle for less than you deserve. By interrupting this cycle, you open up the possibility for new, empowering narratives to take root. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, you can train your mind to adopt a more supportive and encouraging tone. And so the language we use, both in our thoughts and spoken words, has a profound impact on how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. It shapes our beliefs, influences our emotions, and dictates the actions we take or fail to take. The language of possibility is about replacing limiting, self-defeating words and phrases with those that open doors to growth, creativity, and achievement. And it's not just about being positive for the sake of positivity. It's about rewiring your brain to see potential instead of obstacles and to embrace opportunities instead of fear. One of the first steps in adopting the language of possibilities is to recognize the limiting phrases you currently use. Common examples include, I can't, it's impossible, or I don't know how. These statements may feel like facts in the moment, but they are often just expressions of fear or doubt. When you tell yourself, I can't do this, your brain interprets it as a directive and stops looking for solutions. This shuts down your creativity and reinforces a sense of helplessness. To shift into the language of possibility, start by reframing these statements. Instead of saying, I can't do this, try saying, I am learning how to do this. Instead of, it's impossible, say, what would it take to make this possible? These subtle shifts signal your brain to keep working on the problem, searching for solutions and pathways that you might not have considered before. The words you use set the tone for your mental state and directly influence your ability to overcome challenges. Right? And if you overcome those challenges with joy, with peace, with love, with gratitude, you will create massive change in the world around you. Another important aspect of the language of possibility is the power of yet. This single word can transform a fixed mindset into a growth mindset. For instance, when you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good at this, add the word yet to the end of the sentence. I'm not good at this yet. This simple addition implies that growth is not only possible, but inevitable with time and effort. It keeps the door open for improvement and reinforces the idea that skills and abilities can be developed. And the language of possibility also encourages curiosity and exploration. Instead of making definitive statements that close off potential, ask open-ended questions. For example, instead of saying, this will never work, ask, what would it take for this to work? Or, how can I approach this differently? Questions like these invite your mind to engage with the problem in a constructive way, shifting your focus from limitations to opportunities. And using the language of possibility doesn't just affect your thoughts, it influences your emotions and energy as well. Negative, limiting language often leads to feelings of frustration, fear, or inadequacy. In contrast, empowering language can create a sense of hope, excitement, and determination. When you speak to yourself with possibility, you begin to align your thoughts and emotions with the outcomes you desire. This alignment is crucial for taking effective action and achieving your goals. It's also important to recognize that the language of possibility isn't about denying reality or ignoring challenges. It's about approaching those challenges with a mindset that believes in solutions and progress. For instance, if you're facing a difficult situation, you might acknowledge, this is a tough challenge, but I have the skills and resources to figure it out. This balanced perspective allows you to stay grounded while still maintaining a sense of agency and optimism. The language of possibility extends beyond your internal dialogue to how you communicate with others. When you use empowering language in conversations, you inspire and uplift those around you. Instead of saying, we'll never meet this deadline, you might say, what can we do to make this deadline achievable? By framing discussions in terms of solutions and opportunities, you create a collaborative and proactive environment. Over time, consistently using the language of possibility can rewire your brain for success. Neuroscience shows that the brain is malleable and responds to repetition. When you repeatedly choose words that emphasize growth and potential, you create new neural pathways that reinforce these patterns. This process, known as neuroplasticity, enables you to shift from a mindset of limitation to one of expansion and empowerment. In the end, the language of possibility is about giving yourself permission to dream, explore, and grow. It's about recognizing that your words hold the power to shape your reality and choosing to use that power wisely. When you speak to yourself with possibility, you open up new horizons, inspire action, and set the stage for transformation. It starts with a single choice: to believe that more is possible, and to express that belief through the words you use every day. Visualizing and affirming your future self is a transformative practice rooted in neuroscience and psychology that can help you rewire your mind, align your actions with your goals, and create the life you desire. At its core, this practice involves intentionally imagining yourself as the person you want to become, while affirming that this vision is not only possible, but inevitable. By doing so, you activate powerful mental and emotional processes that can turn your aspirations into reality. Visualization is more than just daydreaming. It's a deliberate mental rehearsal where you create vivid, detailed images of your desired future. Research has shown that the brain doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. When you visualize yourself succeeding, achieving your goals, or embodying a specific trait, your brain begins to fire neural pathways as if you were already living that reality. So, imagine you want to improve your health. Imagine you want to do more research. Imagine you want to become more attractive. This process strengthens your belief in your ability to achieve your goals, making them feel more attainable. To practice visualization effectively, start by creating a clear and compelling picture of your future self. Imagine not only what you'll achieve, but also who you will be. What does your future self look like? How do they feel? How do they carry themselves, interact with others, and respond to challenges? Include as many sensory details as possible in your mental imagery. For example, if you're visualizing yourself as a confident public speaker, imagine the sound of your voice resonating through the room, the expressions of engagement on your audience's faces, and the feelings of empowerment in your chest as you deliver your message. Affirmations complement visualization by reinforcing the beliefs and emotions associated with your future self. These are positive, present tense statements that affirm your identity and potential. While visualization helps you see the person you want to become, affirmations help you internalize that identity and align your thoughts with your goals. Examples of affirmations might include, I am confident and capable. I am worthy of success, or I attract opportunities that align with my purpose. When crafting affirmations, it's essential to focus on the present tense and frame them in a way that feels authentic to you. Saying, I am becoming more confident every day might feel more believable if you're just starting out, while I am a confident and inspiring leader might resonate with someone further along the journey. Repeating these affirmations consistently, ideally during your visualization practice or throughout your day, helps reprogram your subconscious mind, replacing self-doubt with empowerment. One of the most powerful aspects of visualizing and affirming your future self is the emotional connection it creates. Emotions are the fuel that brings your vision to life. As you visualize, focus on feeling the emotions associated with achieving your goals. If you imagine yourself as successful, allow yourself to feel the pride, joy, and fulfillment of that success. If you visualize yourself as healthy and energetic, tap into the gratitude and vitality that would accompany that state. These emotional experiences create a feedback loop that strengthens your belief in your vision and motivates you to take action. Action is the bridge between visualization and reality. While imagining and affirming your future self is a powerful practice, it must be coupled with consistent, aligned actions. Visualization and affirmations prime your brain to recognize opportunities, build confidence, and maintain focus. But it's up to you to take the steps necessary to bring your vision to life. Start small by identifying one or two habits or actions that your future self would consistently practice. For example, if your future self is a fit and healthy person, commit to daily exercise or preparing nutritious meals. Another key aspect of visualizing and affirming your future self is persistence. Change doesn't happen overnight, and there will inevitably be moments of doubt or setbacks. When this happens, return to your visualization practice and remind yourself of the person you are becoming. Repetition and consistency are critical. Each time you visualize and affirm, you reinforce the neural pathways associated with your desired identity, making it easier to embody that version of yourself over time. In addition to personal transformation, visualizing and affirming your future self can also influence how others perceive and interact with you. When you consistently embody the qualities of your future self, even in small ways, people begin to respond to you as if you already are that person. This creates a ripple effect, opening up new opportunities and reinforcing your belief in your potential. Breaking the emotional addiction to the past is one of the most liberating and transformative steps you can take toward personal growth and self-realization. Many people remain unconsciously tethered to their past experiences, replaying the same emotions and stories over and over again. These emotional patterns, while familiar, often keep us stuck in cycles of fear, regret, and limitation. To move forward and create a new reality, it is essential to understand and break free from these deeply ingrained emotional habits. And we must learn to trust that the emotion does not predict the future. That if we feel terror, anxiety, emotional addiction to the past is a phenomenon where the brain and body become conditioned to familiar emotions, even when those emotions are negative or disempowering. This can include feelings such as guilt, shame, anger, sadness, or resentment. Over time, the body becomes chemically dependent on these emotional states, much like it would with a physical substance. Even though these emotions may cause discomfort, they feel normal because they are what the body and mind are accustomed to experiencing. The first step in breaking this addiction is cultivating awareness. Many people are unaware of how often they revisit the same emotional patterns and stories. It begins with observing your thoughts and noticing when they drift toward past events. Ask yourself, what emotions do I repeatedly experience? Are these emotions rooted in the past? For example, if you find yourself frequently feeling resentful, trace that emotion back to its source. You might discover that it stems from a specific incident or a relationship that you've been unable to fully release. Once you've identified these emotional patterns, it's important to understand how they influence your present reality. Dr. Joe Dispenza often explains that emotions are the record of the past. When you allow these emotions to dominate your thoughts, you unconsciously recreate the past in the present. For instance, if you are habitually stuck in feelings of betrayal from a previous relationship, those emotions can prevent you from forming new, healthy connections. Recognizing this connection between your emotional state and your current circumstances is a powerful motivator to break free. Breaking this cycle requires a deliberate decision to stop revisiting the past and start focusing on the present and future. One effective way to do this is through mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches you to live in the moment, breaking the habit of dwelling on past events. When you catch yourself ruminating on a painful memory, bring your attention back to your breath, your body, or your surroundings. This practice interrupts the mental loop and helps you stay anchored in the present. Another powerful technique is reframing. While you cannot change the events of the past, you can change how you interpret and respond to them. Instead of seeing a challenging experience as evidence of failure or loss, try to view it as a lesson or an opportunity for growth. For example, if you've been hurt by a past relationship, you might reframe the experience by recognizing the strength and resilience you gained from it. This shift in perspective can help release the emotional charge associated with the memory. Visualization can also play a crucial role in breaking the emotional addiction to the past. Instead of replaying old stories, use your imagination to focus on the future you want to create. Visualize yourself free from the emotional burdens of the past, living a life filled with joy, fulfillment, and purpose. By consistently imagining this new reality, you train your brain to prioritize new emotions and experiences over old ones. Gratitude is another tool that can help dissolve emotional ties to the past. When you focus on what you're grateful for in the present, it becomes harder to dwell on past hurts or regrets. Gratitude shifts your emotional state, replacing feelings of lack or resentment with appreciation and abundance. Try starting or ending your day by writing down a few things you're grateful for. Over time, this practice can rewire your brain to focus on the positive aspects of your life. rather than lingering on the negative. And so when you feel bad about yourself, it's not because there's something wrong. Forgiveness is a critical aspect of breaking free from the past. Holding on to anger or resentment keeps you emotionally tied to the very events and people you wish to move on from. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. Instead, it's about releasing the emotional grip that the past has on you. It's a gift you give yourself, freeing up energy to focus on creating the future you deserve. I think, finally, it's important to understand that breaking the emotional addiction to the past is a process. It requires patience, self-compassion, and consistent effort. There will be moments when old emotions resurface, but each time you choose to acknowledge them without judgment and redirect your focus, you weaken their hold on you. By breaking free from the emotional patterns of the past, you create space for new experiences and possibilities. You reclaim your energy, creativity, and power, allowing you to design a future that aligns with your highest potential. It's not just about letting go of what was. It's about embracing what can be. In doing so, you transform from someone who is defined by their past into someone who is empowered to shape their own destiny. Speaking gratitude as if it's already done is a powerful practice that shifts your mindset, reprograms your subconscious, and aligns you with the outcomes you desire. Gratitude is more than a polite acknowledgement of what you have. It is a transformative emotional state that can magnetize positive experiences and reshape your reality. When you express gratitude for something as if it has already happened, you engage in a practice that combines belief, emotion, and intention, creating a fertile ground for your goals to materialize. At the heart of this practice is the idea that gratitude operates on a vibrational frequency of abundance and fulfillment. When you express gratitude for something you desire, as if it already exists, you align your thoughts and emotions with that reality. For example, instead of saying, "I hope I get the job," you might say, "I am so grateful for my incredible new job where I feel valued and fulfilled." By doing so, you bypass doubt and uncertainty, stepping into a state of confidence and assurance that what you desire is already yours. This approach is rooted in the concept of the brain's neuroplasticity and how it responds to emotional and mental cues. When you speak gratitude as if it's already done, your brain begins to form new neural pathways that support this belief. These pathways strengthen with repetition, making it easier for you to think and act in alignment with the outcome you're envisioning. Over time, this alignment influences your behavior and decision-making, helping you take actions that bring your desires to fruition. The practice begins with clarity. To speak gratitude as if it's already done, you need a clear vision of what you want. Take time to identify your goals and imagine them in detail. For instance, if your goal is to improve your health, visualize what that looks like, your energy levels, how you feel in your body, and the activities you enjoy. Once you have a vivid picture, craft statements of gratitude around that vision. Instead of saying, "I hope to feel better," you might say, "I am so grateful for my vibrant health and the energy that fills me every day." The next step is to infuse these statements with genuine emotion. Emotion is the bridge between your thoughts and your reality. When you speak gratitude with feeling, you activate a deeper connection to your desires. Imagine the joy, relief, or excitement you would feel if your goal were already achieved. Let those emotions flow as you express your gratitude. This emotional charge is what makes the practice so powerful. It tells your brain and body that this new reality is already true, reinforcing your belief in it. I think about consistency is key. Make it a daily habit to speak gratitude as if it's already done. You can incorporate it into your morning routine, write it in a gratitude journal, or say it out loud during quiet moments of reflection. For example, each morning you might say, "I am so grateful for the financial abundance that flows into my life effortlessly." Or, "I am so thankful for the meaningful and loving relationships that surround me." By doing this regularly, you train your mind to focus on possibilities and solutions rather than obstacles. You don't resist life with force. You let it work its magic. It's very difficult to be mad at the problem when you decide to make it. This practice is not about denying reality or pretending challenges don't exist. Instead, it's about shifting your perspective to focus on what is possible rather than what is lacking. Speaking gratitude as if it's already done helps you adopt a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. When you believe that good things are already happening for you, you naturally approach life with greater optimism, resilience, and creativity. An essential part of this practice is letting go of attachment to the how. You don't need to know every step of the journey to speak gratitude for the destination. Trust that the process will unfold in its own way and time. Your job is to stay aligned with the vision and take inspired action when opportunities arise. For example, if you're speaking gratitude for a successful career, stay open to networking, skill development, or other paths that support your goal. Gratitude helps you stay in a state of receptivity, making it easier to recognize and seize opportunities. Another benefit of speaking gratitude as if it's already done is the sense of peace and fulfillment it creates in the present moment. Instead of waiting for external circumstances to change before feeling happy or content, you cultivate those emotions right now. This not only enhances your well-being, but also reduces stress and anxiety. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible, helping you live with greater joy and presence. As you continue this practice, you may notice that it creates a ripple effect in your life. Speaking gratitude as if it's already done changes the energy you bring into your interactions, attracting people and circumstances that align with your goals. It inspires confidence and optimism, which can influence how others perceive and respond to you. Over time, this alignment between your thoughts, emotions, and actions can lead to tangible results that match the vision you've been holding. Staying committed to a new habit, mindset, or goal for just 3 days can be a transformative experience. It might seem like a short time frame, but it's often enough to ignite change, build momentum, and prove to yourself that you're capable of creating the shift you desire. The key is to approach those 3 days with focus, intention, and unwavering dedication. Now, when you commit fully, even for a short time, you begin to rewire your brain, change your perspective, and set the foundation for long-term success. Kitty, the idea of a 3-day commitment works because it's manageable. Many people struggle with making lasting changes because the thought of sustaining a new behavior indefinitely can feel overwhelming. By breaking it down into a short, achievable time frame, you remove much of the pressure and mental resistance that often accompanies change. Committing for 3 days gives you a clear and finite goal, making it easier to focus and stay motivated. To start, it's important to set a clear intention for your 3-day commitment. What do you want to accomplish or shift? Whether it's practicing mindfulness, speaking positively to yourself, journaling, exercising, or adopting a new perspective, clarity is crucial. Define what success looks like for those 3 days and ensure your goal is specific and actionable. For instance, instead of saying, I want to feel better, set a goal like, I will spend 10 minutes each morning meditating and expressing gratitude. Once you've set your intention, create an environment that supports your commitment. Eliminate distractions and obstacles that might tempt you to stray from your goal. For example, if your commitment is to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and plan your meals in advance. If you're focusing on journaling, set up a dedicated space with your journal and pen readily available. Making the process as seamless as possible reduces friction and increases your likelihood of success. During your 3-day commitment, consistency is key. Commit to showing up every single day no matter how you feel. There will likely be moments when resistance arises, when your old habits, doubts, or excuses try to pull you back. This is where the real growth happens. Each time you push through the resistance and honor your commitment, you strengthen your mental discipline and resilience. Remind yourself that it's just 3 days. You can handle anything for that short period. And the sense of accomplishment you'll feel at the end is worth it. A helpful strategy during this time is to track your progress. Keep a simple log or checklist to mark each day you successfully follow through. Seeing your progress visually can be incredibly motivating and gives you a sense of achievement. It also helps reinforce the belief that you are capable of sticking to your commitments. Another important aspect of staying committed for 3 days is practicing self-compassion. Change is challenging, and there may be moments when you stumble or feel less motivated. Instead of beating yourself up, acknowledge the difficulty and recommit to your goal. Self-compassion doesn't mean making excuses. It means treating yourself with kindness and encouragement so that you can continue moving forward. Throughout the 3 days, pay attention to how you feel. Notice the subtle shifts in your mindset, emotions, and energy. Often, even within a short time frame, you'll start to experience positive changes. For example, if your goal is to think more positively, you might notice that you feel more optimistic and less reactive by the end of day 3. These small wins build confidence and provide evidence that change is possible, motivating you to continue beyond the initial 3 days. One of the most powerful outcomes of a 3-day commitment is the momentum it creates. Success builds on success, and the sense of accomplishment you feel after completing your commitment can inspire you to extend it further. After 3 days, you might find it easier to commit to another 3 days, a week, or even longer. Each small step reinforces your belief in your ability to change and strengthens the habits and mindset you're cultivating. Accountability can also play a role in helping you stay committed. Share your goal with a trusted friend, family member, or mentor who can support and encourage you. Alternatively, use a journal or app to hold yourself accountable. Knowing that someone, or even your own record, will reflect your efforts can provide an extra layer of motivation to stay on track. Finally, celebrate your success at the end of the 3 days. Take a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished, no matter how small it may seem. Recognize the effort and determination it took to stay committed, and express gratitude to yourself for taking this step toward growth. Celebrating reinforces the positive experience and makes you more likely to replicate it in the future. In just 3 days, you can prove to yourself that you are capable of change by setting a clear intention, staying consistent, overcoming resistance, and reflecting on your progress. You lay the groundwork for long-term transformation. What starts as a short-term commitment can become a catalyst for lasting growth, showing you that meaningful change begins with a single decision to take action.